Hey there, so it's me once again, and I'm here with one of my new projects which I've built in the recent days. So, I believe all of you have been in the situation where you go to a trip, enjoy the trip, and at last, when it all comes to like settling your expenses, that's where the real hassle comes. And like someone could owe for food, someone have paid for accommodation, someone has paid for the expenses or the clothes throughout the trip, and at the end you don't even know who pays for whom and how much the total expense has gone up to. And if you are someone like me who just ends up paying more than he should in the whole trip, then this particular app is definitely for you. So this app is called Tripper. It is just a utility app which I has created for my personal need. And what this app does is it this app like utilizes and use all the expenses that you have done till now. All you need to do is just add an expense on your individual basis and just tell between whom this expense have been split into. And at last, when you need to settle the trip or end the trip, this app will just optimize all the settlements in the most optimal way, such that you as a person would need to do minimum number of transactions as possible, and this is just the most optimal way to do it. So let me just go through how this app goes. So if someone who isn't familiar with this screen, so this is like a mobile only view for my app. Now if you haven't like logged in earlier, all you just need to do is to log in. And as you like just log in, so choose an account for you to log. After login, you will get to the trip sections. Now what you need to do is to create a trip. Now creating a trip, all you need to do is to fill simple things like trip name, description, the date when it starts and ends, or the trip basic currency which you are going to pay with. And after like creating this trip, you will get redirected to the trip page. These are the trip details, the currency, the trip name, description, and when the trip ends or starts. And this is the trip member section. Currently, since I've created the trip, I am the only member here. But if you want to add someone to this trip, all you need to do is click the above right plus button, and you will get a input box to just input the email. And you can add just a single email or like multiple emails separated with a comma. And after that, you just click the sends button, and each particular email address will be receiving an invitation link customized for themselves. So now like we have sent the email to each individual users that we are supposed to be in a trip. Now these are the expenses section, as you can see in the below. Now currently this is empty, but this will eventually fill. Now let me just show you the experience of someone else when joining a trip to the invitation link. So let me just go through my email, and like this is the invitation link which I've sent to this particular email. Now this is the link. Since I've already opened one of my app instances in the Chrome browser, let me just paste it to the Brave browser. Like as I've pasted a link and enter the button, as you can see, like you will get a pop-up with an invitation. You will get an invitation pop-up. So I'll just copy the link and like paste it in the Brave browser, and you will see an invitation pop-up. So this is like invitation pop-up for you, and just following the simple steps as described, you will get to the trip. All this is for like an authentication purposes. If someone else tries to like join this trip with a different email address for a different invitation link, he or she won't be able to join, because that particular invitation link was tailored for that particular email address. So in this way, this was just for the authentication purposes. And now as you can see, I've been joined to this trip. Today's trip, you can see this plus icon, and after joining you can just add the expenses as below. So while adding expenses, you can just add the amount of the expense, you can add the name of the expense, the currency, and between whom this expense would be shared. You can have a custom value too if you require, and what type of expense it is, whether it could be a drink, it could be food expenses or the travel expenses, as you like. And after like creating an expense, it is done, it will be shown in the UI. Let me just show you how my particular window was like now. So this is how my windows looks like. And yeah, as you can see, here's the expenses created by the brave one. And yeah, in this way, if I to create an expense, it would look like this. I will fill the details and select a currency and like fill the amount, and I will go for it. So in this way, like I too have created the expense. And after this, there would be multiple expense, multiple individuals who are in the trip. And if at last you are like, okay, since the trip has ended and all the expenses are need to be settled, and so if you want to end the trip, all you need to do is to click this blue button above in the right corner, and you will get a pop-up. In this pop-up you will have like notification or instructions about what will happen after you end this trip. Since you end this trip, you won't be able to add new users, and all the expenses or the settlement details would be sent to your personalized email, and these trip details would be in the PDF format, so you can just keep a log of all the expenses that you have made, all the extra details that would be summarized in that particular PDF format. So it is just an easy way for someone to have their logs in the PDF format too. So in this way, like this whole app works, and this is just a so in this way this whole app works. So I've used this app in a mobile view because like it is the most friendly way to show it, because in a trip you won't be having users to like open a laptop and to fill the details. It is just a tedious thing to do, I feel. So so there are like some of the apps which already exist for this particular use case, but I've tried those apps and those apps are filled with like ads, and I'm at that point of my life where I can just not tolerate ad anymore. And they also have a limit to the number of trips you can create or the number of expenses you can create within a trip, which is just too much. Why would you even do that, even for an app which is just made for creating a trip and adding expenses? So if you have a way to just block ads from an app, just go for that ad. But apart from this, I feel a web version is much more better. You can just use it in a desktop too, and also in an app, also in a mobile phone. And yeah, so this is like one of the things which I've built because I feel like building it. So yeah, I said this is my app and this is all about it. Thank you.